Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast. Yes. We are the voice of the professional fan. We are the Profanity Nation. Thank you for joining us. We are live here every Sunday night at 8:30. And we consist of my boy right here, Money Mike. How you doing?
I'm good. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Podcasting 2 days in a row.
Yeah, we had a great event yesterday. We'll chat about that. Step, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. You know, like you guys saying, we did it 2 days in a row, or we're doing it 2 days.
It was actually a very filled weekend for all of us, right?
Yes.
Including Rams and Chargers events, all sorts of stuff.
Awesome.
We had a very filled weekend. We have a lot to get to. Of course, free agency for the NBA has taken place.
Yep.
USA basketball on both men and women have concluded, and we'll discuss the finals and how that happened, even though you all should know that already. But
we want to talk about it.
But as always, we get started with our boy, our man here, Marco Nunez. He is the former head athletic trainer for the Los Angeles Lakers, and he knows what he's talking about with injuries. Let's bring him on right now. Hello, Marco. How you doing?
Good. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, we're good.
Hey, we good. I'm excited, Marco. I got a new word.
Uh-oh.
I got a new word for me. I don't know if hope it ain't a new word for you.
Well, I hope it's I hope we're pronouncing it right though, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna correct it. So look, we're gonna get right into it, man. So I'm watching the Hall of Fame game, you know, the Cowboys and the Steelers play, and they were talking about Dak Prescott, and he has a latissimus strain. And what they were saying was, which I thought was kind of interesting, they saw it more of a baseball injury, and that the athletic staff of the Cowboys went to the Texas Rangers to learn how to treat that type of injury. So, can you tell me anything? Well, first of all, have you ever heard of latissimus? Because I haven't.
I hope so. I really do.
I have. So the correct terminology is if you are doing the one, it's called the latissimus dorsi, and it basically originates in the pelvis region. So it starts down below, kind of by your waist, so to speak. And it goes alongside your back and to the front, and it connects up here in your humerus. So even though it originates down below, it is part of one of the movements here. And I guess one of the reasons why the baseball is because there's a lot of more rotation that pitchers have to be involved in.
Oh, okay, cool. See, I knew you were the man. That's why you.
Have you guys seen Dak Prescott warm up?
No.
When he goes out there, he does like a little hip thing. He does. He looks like he's a baseball player. Like he could have strained his shit doing that.
Making those moves.
You seen that? Like the little dance moves. They got like a whole meme for them doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, so tell me about that. I mean, I thought that was really interesting that the football athletic trainers went to the baseball athletic trainers to find out really, you know, how to treat it, what to do with it, because they saw it more of a baseball injury versus a football injury.
Correct, and that's very common. That's the one thing about working in the professional setting or the collegiate setting among athletic trainers. You get to know your colleagues, you get to know your peers, and you sometimes kind of collaborate and bounce ideas. I remember when I was with the Lakers, I got calls from the LA Dodgers whenever they had injuries that were kind of more common with basketball players, and vice versa. If it was an injury that was more common in hockey, I would reach out to Chris Kingsley with the LA Kings, type of thing. So it's something that you just kind of work together as a team. You get to know your peers, you get to know your colleagues.
Okay, cool. So what do you think they told him? Like, how does he get better? Will he be ready by in the next 3 weeks for the season? You know,
I think from what I've heard is that they're not really concerned about him missing the regular season. I think he obviously didn't expect him to play the Thursday game. They kind of sat him out. They're being very cautious with him, so to speak, because of that. Two, they don't want to create any additional compensation patterns. Granted, he's also coming back from the severe injury that he sustained last season. So they're, and they gave him a nice little contract. So that's one of their franchise players. So they're going to be very cautious with them. They're not going to kind of throw him to the wolves, so to speak, right away. They got bottom line right now. They have time on their side. So why not take advantage of that time?
So one of the things is what do you think? Just kind of rest and not really use that particular muscle.
No,
on
well,
strain?
not, yeah. So basically, when it comes to recovery or rehab, the latissimus dorsi is one of the muscles that attaches to the pelvis region, so to speak. So when you're rehabbing that area, the one thing you got to consider is what we call the core stability. And when you think of core, you don't think of just your six packs alone. A core involves any muscles that are attached to the pelvis. Basically, you do have your abdominals, your hamstrings, your glutes, your rectus, your hip flexor. And what I explain to everybody when I work with athletes, think of your pelvis as a teeter-totter, right? Back and forth, back and forth. The muscles on one side affects what happens to the muscles on the other side, both rotational and side to side. And all planes, you have three main planes: the frontal plane, sagittal plane, and transverse planes. So when you rehab it, you want to make sure you rehab the whole entire core muscles to make sure that the muscles are working in the synergistic motion. Otherwise, one muscle is going to kind of work harder than the other ones, and we call what's called compensation, and you may get an injury in that sort of type of thing. And especially with a quarterback, which is simulates with a pitcher, where you get to kind of that rotation on that part, it's the same kind of concept. So they are definitely doing rehab. They're probably focusing on one, his core stability, and two, what's referred to as the posterior chain, which is basically the muscles in the back that sustain you and support you while you're working out or while you're participating in the sport. I'm sorry.
Hey, Marco, when you have an athlete that has I guess what would be considered within that sport, a slightly odd injury like this, because it's not something they're not used to, is there any heightened level of concern for the athletic training group, or is it just, it's just an odd thing, or is it?
No, it's not an odd thing. I mean, no, it's not nothing hiding, because it's a muscular strain. Muscles will heal, so to speak, because there's a good blood supply in the area. The only reason why they're probably reaching out to the Texas Rangers is because it's something that's just not common. Now, does it mean that the training staff with the Dallas Cowboys don't know how to rehab this? No, they do know how to rehab this, but obviously they want to make sure that they're on the right track. So why not go to a group of athletic trainers that they see this every single day type of thing? I'll give you a prime example. In hockey, ankle sprains are not that common because of the shoe support that you get by the skate. So when there is like an ankle sprain or some kind of foot injury, it's common for a hockey trainer maybe to go and consult with a basketball athletic trainer, because we tend to see this a lot, and then vice versa type of thing. So in basketball, it's more lower extremity injuries. Baseball, it's more shoulder stuff like that. So it's common just to, hey, you know what? I just want to know we're on the right track. We know what we're doing type of thing. Plus, again, it's one of the franchise players. So you want to make sure you cover all your bases. Don't leave, as I say, don't leave any rock unturned.
Second opinions, third opinions.
He's getting paid what, $40 million a year?
Yeah.
You gotta make sure it's right.
Make sure it's right.
Exactly.
All right, excellent, Marco. Well, thank you so much. Please let everybody know, as always, how they can keep up with you and keep up to date with what you've got going on.
Sure, everybody. If you guys have any questions regarding sports medicine, or you want to follow some of the sports medicine tips of the week that I put out, follow me on Instagram at MarcoAnuno17. And also go to my YouTube channel at Evolve Athletic Performance, where I put out sports medicine tips. Last week I put up I'm just having a little bit. What did we talk about?
Anyway, tips that you put up last week.
Shift splits. I think we put on shift splits. For this week, I'm putting up IT band syndrome. So if you have one of those things that have that little discomfort on the side of the knee, make sure you follow me and check it out.
Okay.
All right. Actually, hang on. I think I actually have that, because they always tell me I have a very tight IT band on my right leg, and it pulls my right foot out this way.
Yep.
Oh, that's me.
There you go. I'm gonna put it out. Make sure you watch it
forever. All right.
Go make an appointment, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it.
Or you need to watch that episode.
Yeah. Oh, now we're talking. Now you got me going. So now we're gonna be.
Hey, tune in, Jeff. Tune in to Michael.
Exactly. We'll keep you up to date on how it goes with my IT band.
Man, and I knew you would know that word. It said better than me, so I appreciate you for that.
Latissimus dorsi.
There you go. I didn't know the dorsi part.
You thought it was a dinosaur. Come on.
Right.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Marco, as always, excellent. Yeah. It would seem at least great that they're reaching out, that they're not so cocky or ego driven, that they're beyond reaching out to.
I mean, and that just show you the level of, when you think about athletic trainers and physical therapy, how when they say they're specialized in certain areas, they are really specialized, especially if you're breaking it down by sport. It's not just because you're specializing, and I know we have doctors in the Los Angeles Lakers fan
Fan
club.
club room, yes.
So they
Dr.
probably
Randy
listen,
Chapman,
they probably
Dr.
listen to me like this guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am just a Joe Blow. So when I hear these being specialized and broken
You know
down
what?
and stuff
We
like
take
that.
a 5-minute crash course every week from a highly trained athletic trainer.
Hey man,
So
I'm
you're
getting
pretty
better.
skilled
I'm getting better.
Yeah,
I'm getting
I
better.
wouldn't knock that.
If I can do that for a whole year, man, I'm be
Yeah,
really
we
what
be
I'm
good,
talking
man.
about.
Go ahead and get it.
We'll add that to our LinkedIn.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got anchor spray. I'll tell you what to do. Put some ice on it. Wrap it up.
All right,
Compress
guys.
it. 24 hour.
Exactly.
Hot cold treatment.
So before we move on to sports news, which of course there's plenty to discuss, let's just do a quick roundup. Yesterday was a great event. Yesterday, the Profanity Nation podcast, along with Courtside Radio, which also produces their show in this studio here with
Shout out to Courtside Radio.
Courtside Radio, Michael,
Keith,
all the
Michael.
guys, Bruce, the Boston. Alex Hines, a Boston fan. He was
Alex,
awesome.
man. Alex
is awesome.
Hey, man, I wanted to hate Alex, man, but he I'm on his side a little bit, man.
And he's so
Hey,
absolute.
we tried to give him Schroeder, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they need him.
No, I'm trying to get Schroeder for Smart.
Yeah,
That's what I need, but I'm not going to get that.
But it was a great event. Actually, we actually performed live at Hollywood in Highland. And if you're not in the Los Angeles or California area, or if you've never been here, that is it. That is the pinnacle. That is right there on Hollywood Boulevard and Highland. That is where Grauman's Chinese Theater is, directly across the street from the El Capitan, which is where Jimmy Kimmel films his show nightly. So we got to perform live outdoors, which was wonderful because it's usually very stuffy in this studio. I was just going to say it, but it was awesome. And this was incredible.
We had a view of the city, huh, Pat?
Yeah, man. Too good of
Yeah, exactly. If you watched one of our shows earlier, we had a guest, Brian Peterson Art, and Brian Peterson painted the Kobe mural on Hollywood Boulevard right there at Hollywood and Highland, upstairs on the 4th floor. You cannot see it from the boulevard. You have to enter into the structure and actually go up to the 4th floor. There's a beautiful view of the city from there.
Man.
Hey, let me just tell y'all, man. I'm going to tell y'all. We're going to get into it. I just can't help it.
Here we go.
So I did not know that somebody was afraid of heights.
I say it, me.
And so, we're going up like, all right, cool, man. Look, go over see the city. And we got this guy, that just said me, Stat Pat, like, hey, I can't go up that escalator. I gotta go through the stairs where they got walls on both sides.
Yes, dude. I need to be secure, man.
Right.
My mind need to be secure.
Right.
My feeling was secure. I need my mind secure.
And the chair was kind of high. It wasn't a standard chair. It was more like a bar stool chair.
A bar stool chair.
So it was kind of higher up.
It was.
You know what I mean? But he killed it, though. You never would have known.
Well, the fact that Brian did that mural up there,
right there on the
up there on the still at night with the wind. I wouldn't have done it. It would have been half done.
Your passion is directed elsewhere,
on the ground,
not any less, just in a different direction. Straight ahead, not up.
Yeah, dude.
But
we worked it out. We worked it out, and it was a great event.
You killed it.
We worked it out. So it was a great event. And again, we performed live out there right under the mural. And Brian was gracious enough to join us again briefly. Of course, we had him on the show once before. If you haven't seen that, go online and find that interview because it's awesome. You can go on TGN. They have an archive there on the TGN app.
Yes,
or you can go onto our Facebook and anywhere that podcasts are available, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, and everywhere and anywhere. Just say, hey, I want to listen to the Profanity Nation, and you can find it. So it was a great event, and I want to thank personally on behalf of the Profanity Nation, Courtside Radio, and TGN Network. I want to thank Lindsay over there from Hollywood and Highland. She made it possible. She's the one that we had to speak to make that happen, and she really brought it, and it was a great event, and we just had a blast. So thank you so much, and that was amazing. We're just so thankful to be in this position and have the opportunity. So without further ado, after our thanks and roses have been handed out, let's get to some sports news.
Let's get your ass.
All right.
We have a different team, though.
We have a different team. I want to get right to it.
Wow.
I want to get right to the Lakers, actually. Okay. So there's obvious news out there, but we're just going to go ahead and run it down. The Lakers, again, have broken the NBA. They did make a trade for Russell Westbrook, and that's changed the game. That's changed.
I guess can we talk about it now? Because, it's official.
Oh, it's all official. They're signed. Yeah, it's done.
Everybody's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't get investigated.
yeah,
We'll
I'm
get to
not
that in a
saying-
second.
I'm acting like we're affiliated.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanna be
No, see,
affiliated.
that's a benefit of not being affiliated.
We're talking about all the rumors.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a benefit. So Lakers did acquire Russell Westbrook, which is amazing. And considering the team, I think when it happened, everyone was like, "Look, you can't win." When it happened, everyone was like, "Did they give up too much?" I didn't like it, but you know what? If you give up too little, give up too much, everyone's going to complain on one side.
Yeah.
Money. Now, in retrospect, with the team that Pelinka's put around, how do you feel about the trade?
You know what? Hey, on the surface, I like
Yeah.
the trade. My
Mhm.
biggest concern is again who's going to handle the ball. I think in order for Westbrook to be effective, he has to be able to play his game. I think LeBron, AD, and everybody, all the other Hall of Fame players
Right.
that LeBron put together, because that's how we win championships.
The architect.
Architect. They're able to adjust their game to Westbrook so he can be more effective. And I think if they do that, then we're hard to stop. Now, the only thing I could say about the other guy that got 19 years that was drafted the same year.
Let them know. Let them know, Mike. Let 'em
Everybody,
know.
everybody called Kobe a ball hog, But the difference between Kobe and this other guy is that
Get to it. Say his name.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony.
All right,
Right.
so the Lakers acquired again Carmelo Anthony. I always have to bring the sub story here. Okay, so if they don't know, Carmelo Anthony has agreed to sign with the Lakers. I think it's already
He
done.
needs to also agree to come off the bench.
He's agreed. I think that was a
had to.
given.
Yeah, I'm just listen. I know that they're boys and everything, but see, what a lot of people don't recognize is Carmelo Anthony. Air gets taken off the ball. You pass to Carmelo Anthony, it ain't going nowhere but towards the basket. I'm just telling you. And
If he's going to the basket, is with him.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? See, what happened with Kobe is Kobe would pass the ball, he would pass to somebody else, and then he would end up with the ball to shoot it. Carmelo, you pass it to him, it's 20 seconds left in the shot clock. It ain't going nowhere but one direction, to the basket. That's why, and I have proof of that. Like, this dude has 19 years. Just like LeBron, he has 3,000 assists. In comparison to LeBron, LeBron has 9,600. In comparison to the hot dog.
See how he likes to use LeBron when it helps?
No, I'm just
when
saying.
it helps his kids.
No, hold on,
all of a sudden,
hold on.
LeBron
Hear
is
me
the
out.
GOAT.
Yes.
Who did he
No,
go to?
no, LeBron's not the
Who
GOAT.
did you go to as
No.
the example
He
to
didn't
pit
say what-
against
he didn't say what
Carmelo?
Jordan had, did he?
I did not.
Just saying.
I did not finish.
I'm just saying. Who did you go to?
I have not finished my thought. Compared to Kobe, because everybody called Kobe a hot dog.
Exactly.
6,300 career assists.
Okay.
So this guy has 19 years, 3,000 assists.
Yeah.
So listen, I just want y'all to understand. I need the role I need Carmelo to play is if everybody is breaking, put Carmelo in the game, let him score those 15 points, and sit his behind back down. Do y'all disagree with me?
No. I don't know if he should just like get all of his 15 points in the second quarter. Like, I need him to spread that out because
You have 7 minutes.
Yeah,
Get it done.
Yeah, you get 10 minutes. I need 15
Right.
10 minutes. So
Yeah, because nobody else can shoot. Everybody break it.
right. Well, I just want him to be the person I know he can be. Like this, put the ball in the hole.
If you guys agree with me, blink your mic anytime.
Put the ball in the hole.
or disagree with me.
Put the ball in the hole, man. And look, dude, I think he's gonna know his role. For what I saw with Portland, he did pass a little bit, and of course,
He
it's
probably
Carmelo.
got
It's
1,000
Carmelo.
assists
It's
last
Carmelo. Come on, everything's relative. It's not like he got all of a sudden start averaging 6 assists a game. No, if he averaged 3 for his career, maybe he went up to 4. I don't know. Maybe if he averaged 2 for a career, maybe he went up to 3 with Portland. I'm just saying that he actually did look like he was passing the ball. And I think he's going to know his role with the Lakers. He need to provide scoring punch off the bench, something that Dennis Schroeder couldn't do.
Yeah, that's to me.
He started though.
In order for us to be effective, win a championship, you can't sleep on New Jersey. They're still tough over there. I think everybody has to play their role.
We have to see them twice. We have nothing to worry about. Let them get to the finals. We got a long way. We don't need to sleep on anybody. We don't need to worry about them. They need to worry about themselves way more. We don't need to be planning for the Nets.
Well, I'm just saying,
In my opinion.
there is more than one
Right.
super team out there.
Yeah, they
I think
like
super team is a cliche now. Is Miami not a super team now? They would consider that.
Yeah, it's like
At least borderline.
But the super team
So
argument,
overrated.
the super team argument is like, it's funny how like when people want to bolster their argument about what a super team looked like, especially when old heads like us talk about we don't like the super team era, they will always want to throw back in the fact that that the Lakers were a super team or the Celtics were a super team, and we're like, but it was done organically. These dudes were drafted not knowing they were going to be Hall of Famers, like all five is going to be like
and
4
or
or 5
strategically, like when we were able to draft James Worthy.
Right. The fact that they thought this is what they thought. This was calculated. Jerry West thought that it was better to get James Worthy than Dominique Wilkins because they felt that James Worthy would be able to accept his role better than Dominique Wilkins, which definitely was an alpha, and he's going on that thing. He's going to be shooting just like we know how Dominique was shooting. So you go ahead and put him on there. Now, yes, all the dunks would have been ridiculous. I mean, I thought about, talked about that before. He on the break would be awesome, but his role and how he would fit with Magic and Kareem wouldn't be the same. Anyway, point being, super teams are not built through the draft. Super teams are built through free agency, and that's what we're seeing right now. All these guys doing free agency.
They're built through their friends.
Super friends.
I think okay, you say super teams are not built through the draft.
How it's kind of hard when you're banking, you're calling the super team a rookie. Like a rookie is on a super team, unless it's like Embiid going.
What's the difference? How then there has to be a different terminology for a homegrown super team, because like the Golden State Warriors, because they are definitely a super team, but homegrown.
But the Golden State Warriors didn't get the super team moniker until Kevin Durant. Then they became a super team. Before they were applauding them as doing it organically. Doing it was Draymond, Clay, and Steph, and then all the other pieces with it. But when they put him on there. Yeah, of course.
They sold out.
Yeah, and then they said,
basically, I'd love to see immediately if there's anybody in Clubhouse. I'd like to see. I know we're going to discuss all these signings that the Lakers have, but I just like an immediate answer right now. Do you guys feel that the Lakers are a super team? Do you feel it was done inorganically, or do you just feel that this is a strategic play? What do you guys think? If there's anyone there, go ahead and
go ahead, blink your mic.
Blink your mics. Let me know if anyone comes on there, Mike. Of course, one of the things. Oh, we got
Crispy.
All right, here we go. Go ahead, Crispy.
I'm gonna have to go no. They were calling us old man, washed up, senior citizens. I've heard every name in the book so far. I'm gonna have to agree and say no. We are not a super team. We are an elite team, and a legit team, and we're gonna prove a point this year.
Yeah, Crispy, the fact that you said that, I made a point yesterday about how we have two simultaneous narratives going on. You have on one hand, you got a bunch of haters talking that we're old and busted, but we can't be old and busted and then the new hotness at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't be old and busted and new hotness. Basically,
you gotta pick one.
You gotta pick one. So you can't call me washed and old and then call me a super team in the same breath. You can't do that. You got to stay in one lane. And the fact that the Sports Center, ESPN, has made us out to be the oldest team in the league, and it did all this stuff, not taking consideration of a starting five and putting those five and doing those average years of the starting five. No, they want to do the whole team as if like the 10 people are going to be playing at the same time. Like it doesn't happen like that. So the fact that we have these narratives going on is weird. Like people want to call us a super team, but we're not a super team. We're an old team. We're experienced, and that's what I like to go with. With that experience, when they get the ball in their hand, they know exactly what to do with it, and that's what I see with the Lakers team. I think we're going to be formidable, honestly.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like you can't do both. You can't say the different narrative. Either we're a super team or we're an old team. You can't do both.
You're big on that. Because that's what you hold to LeBron. Yeah. You say he can't have the same and then say he's old in the end.
Right. Yeah.
That's you. That's
right.
Your words.
And that was the one thing too. Like it's funny that you brought up LeBron. LeBron put that tweet out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he
keep that same narrative.
He was like, keep that same narrative.
Let's talk about it.
Right. But see, look, here's the problem I have with that though, because I like that tweet. I'm gonna see if I can find it right quick, or you guys can find it right quick. But he basically said, hey, you guys are talking about us putting this together, keep that same narrative at the end. What I hate about that is he deleted it.
I know why.
why'd you delete that, dog? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's almost like he getting a little pressure. People responding. He's not even owning what he said.
Yeah. Basically, here's a tweet. Tweets like, say, keep talking about my squad, our personnel ages, the way they play. We're past our prime in this league, et cetera, et cetera. Do me one favor, please. And I mean, please keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Why did you delete that?
Now, the funny thing about that, Mike, and I don't want to go ahead and steal your point right here, but when we're talking about keeping the same energy, you gotta be the first one to keep the same energy. Right. You can't all of a sudden not keep the same energy. You telling everybody else to do that, and then you basically delete the tweet. Like, you essentially are not keeping the same energy you want people else to do. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that makes sense to me.
Right.
And you're like, look, I want you to put that there. Say it with your chest. Say what you did it right there. You put it out there. Say it with your chest. And then if the bullets come, you just got to be able to take the bullets. But don't be like trying to howl. It just felt weird.
Why are you running?
It just felt like, why are you running? It's like, you like what? Wait, man, say
yeah, because see, look, honestly, everybody knows how I feel about LeBron. I think whatever he does, he gives himself an out. I think, I don't think that we could have won a championship without AD, but I definitely think that he should have averaged more than he normally would average. If you average normally 30 points, you need to average like 35
He always
40.
says a statement that prefaces like, I'm only 80%.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, he gives himself an out.
He does,
right?
You're right.
So then,
I give you that.
When he puts that tweet out, then he's not giving himself out. When he deletes it, then you're like, oh no, I didn't say it, or I didn't mean it, or maybe I overstepped my bound. Stop giving yourself an out.
Yeah.
Stop giving. Who cares about the sponsor?
I know,
he's
but
a
we're not. Yeah, you're right. At some point, you say, "Hey, I'm already mogul status."
Man.
Screw it.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He's a millionaire. So who cares about?
But you know what's funny though? Even though I want to go ahead and drag him for that tweet or the deletion of the tweet, but I do believe they're talking. They're listening. They're hearing the narrative. They're ready. Their antennas are up. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They're hearing the noise. I mean, shoot. I mean, AD, before they even got these people, I mean, the team that we got right now, AD's heard that he's Mr. Glass, that he's soft and everything. Like, if that boy ain't in there trying to eat all kinds of eggs and rice
and
beans,
carrots,
like try to give me drink some milk, some milk. Just get these bones.
Yeah.
I need these bones strong. I need you out there to really go ahead and do your thing. And then we got the old and washed people on the team. So if you're not ready, and if you know anything about the Lakers, obviously, you're going to get everyone's best shot. So these dudes got to be ready from when the opening bell. So I really believe, even though he did delete that tweet, I think he using it as motivation to come hard this year because, I mean, at this point, they ain't got a choice, right?
As motivation.
I'm thinking
he always uses that stuff.
I'm thinking that's a motivation.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Look,
that'll be when you're talking about his documentary, like MJ's. He'll look at that and be like, okay.
And I took
all
that.
Right.
But you know what?
Exactly. And I took that personally.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. This is why I was never a Jordan fan, but what I liked about Jordan was he was an asshole. He was an asshole to his teammates.
Right.
And he acknowledges.
And he acknowledges.
Kobe too.
You know what I mean?
Kobe.
And he let him know what his standard was. Same thing with Kobe. And, Kobe said, listen, if you ain't coming to the gym when I'm coming to the gym, I ain't leaving when I'm leaving, you lazy. That's what his standard is.
Yeah.
So if you're not working hard and this dude was spending $1 million on his body, and then what happened when AD won the championship? AD came with the Rolls Royce, and they were, for a week and a half, they were on Instagram Live, him flossing his new Rolls.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Come on, dog.
It's okay.
Okay, cool. You get 2 weeks. You get 2 weeks. Now take your ass back to the gym and get yourself ready, so that way, and learn how to fall. Like go to WWE, learn how to fall right. You know what I'm saying? Take some wrestling classes.
Vince McMahon lessons.
Listen, you have to learn how to fall and not get hurt, dog. Like, because you're going to fall. You're going to fall. Land on your feet first, then on your back. Something. He needs to do that.
We need to get Michael Thompson in here.
Man,
he's the one who loves wrestling.
I think we need to do it a poll, or not a poll, but just kind of get an average, over under how many times AD is going to be on the floor tonight.
God,
like,
no.
dude, I mean, I'm thinking like I'm starting to bidding at like I'm starting
Right.
to line
Or
at
how about
6.
a drinking game where you have to do a
Six-
shot every
6
single
times. He
time?
just
AD
falls on the
goes
floor.
down.
Like-
Up, shot.
No, you know how
gotta
drunk
do it
you'll
that
be in the
way.
second quarter? You'd be drunk.
Okay, we have a listener and friend of the show, Roland Bryant, of course. He chimed in and says super teams are built through the draft picks. You can build around with free agency. Now, I disagree. Okay, I disagree, and this is my thing. I actually think that there's a difference here. I think a super team is a team that's assembled just like a boy band. You put it together, plug and play, and you're there. I believe a team that's built organically, and if they make it to super team status, they actually are in line for dynasty status.
Mhm.
And I don't see a super team that's a boy band type put together really going to ever hit dynasty. If you have to be organic to hit dynasty. Have we ever seen a boy band team put together? We're calling boy band. But have ever seen that? No. So
No.
I would
And-
say
and-
that's the difference.
And this
That's
is the reason.
what I would
This is the
say.
reason why, because it's put together. For
Thanks,
the next,
Roland.
It's put together for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
always
you
put
know,
together for
you can't-
win now.
Right.
And, yeah, and when you talk about win now, you're also talking about short contracts. Is not are non-manageable contracts. Like if you like you said, building through the draft, you are on a like a nice little rookie scale. You can go ahead and have their bird rights after about 4 years, and so like you have all of these different options as a GM. But when you're talking about like a guy coming in there for 3 years and he has a player option for the third, you know what I'm saying? You're never going to be able to get that dynasty. You just got that little run. We call
Yes.
it like runs.
A win.
That's
Just like a little
a window,
pocket,
like a little window.
like a
That's
one-hit
it. Like,
wonder year.
That's it. Like you
Right?
said, boy band until
Yeah.
they break up and then somebody.
That's
else,
kind of yeah. You can never get too attached. All right, guys, we got tons more to discuss. We're going to take a quick little break here because, of course, we love our sponsors. One of which is the Los Angeles Lakers fan club room and clubhouse. We are. Do you know that we are the official sports show for the
Really?
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
Los Angeles Lakers fan club room.
9,000.
I still over
Really
9,000 members and growing, and I still just I'm ecstatic. I tell everybody that. Seriously,
Pretty
I do.
damn cool.
We always push that. So thank you so much. So stick around. We've got more coming up here. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
The Profanity Nation is now the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Be sure to join, over 5,000 strong and growing. Also, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Again, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt.
We love it. We love it there. Also, you guys, besides the fan club, we have a place that helps us out and helps sponsor the show. Pure Life Wellness Alternative Center, located in Chatsworth, California. They're awesome, man. They've got everything you need to chill out, to stay cool, and just after a long day of work, everything legal nowadays, which is awesome. We know. But you can go ahead out to Pure Life Wellness Alternative Center in Chatsworth, get your gummy bears, get your everything you want to do. They're great over there. Tell them that the Profanity Nation sent you, and maybe they'll hook you up. I'm not sure. but either way,
But it'd be cool.
Either way, I mean, come on, you're going to Pure Life Wellness Alternative Center. You're going to leave happy no matter
You
what.
probably forget that
You're gonna leave
that
happy
you
no
forget who
matter
sent
what.
you the-
All right, so let's get back to the show, you guys. So okay, and thank you for sticking around, everybody. So okay, so the Lakers they've signed a lot of players out there. I'm gonna run down the list, and I know a few of them we're super excited about. We already discussed Carmelo. We have Talen Horton Tucker
About to
coming
play
back,
pump it or dump it.
and he's a favorite of the team, favorite of our
I'm
show.
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah,
'Cause
Taylor.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
We lost Caruso.
Yeah.
And then they offered THT like 10 million. I'm like, man, are the Lakers gonna match that?
Yeah.
So I'm
they
happy
did.
they did.
Yeah, they did. They did the right thing there. I think they picked the right guy, even though we love us Caruso.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Caruso had already reached his peak of what we were going to get from him, and we just don't know what Horton Tucker can bring.
Yeah.
So I think that's the right pick. I love Dwight Howard coming back. We love the fact that we've got Nunn and Monk here. Everything's looking good. Everything's like
We got a
kind of
none and a month.
Nunn
I
and
need,
a
you,
Monk.
I need you to say that.
You need
man.
to
I
say
need
it.
you
All
to say
right.
that, dog.
All right, so we do have a Nunn and a Monk on the team. However, we had to trade a Pope to get it.
See.
All right. I know there's a rim shot here.
No,
Yeah.
We're just testing
We're not
shit out
good with
here.
these sound effects. It should end
This ain't
soon,
on
guys.
board.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah, we're cheesy. We'll take it. We're
Hey,
cheesy.
blink your mic if anybody like that joke.
I mean, dude, we're doing on the spot. We're doing like
Nobody, ain't nobody blink. Nobody like the joke.
Just scroll down. There's
hold on.
people
Scroll down.
scrolling down.
Scroll
Hold on, I'm
down.
gonna try this one.
No. Uh-oh. That's the laugh track. See, they're laughing.
See, they're laughing.
They're laughing. my friend.
Okay, we don't want this anymore.
They
dude.
like it.
That's not us.
They like it. Okay, so we got Trevor Ariza back. Trevor Ariza, guys.
Yeah.
Trevor Ariza is actually played on a championship Kobe team.
Bazemore did too.
What does that say?
That's how old he is.
That is aligns with the age factor. So it took, if I'm right, it took Trevor Ariza 11 years to get back to the Lakers after his blunder of asking for too much money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell the story, Mike.
Yeah. So, Dennis Schroeder, he got Trevor Ariza.
Yes.
Do y'all know what I mean? By
You
Trevor
got,
Ariza?
hey, any Laker fan, real Laker fans know what we mean.
Yeah.
When you got Trevor Ariza.
So for those of you guys that don't know what getting Trevor Ariza is, Dennis Schroeder went to Lakers, asked for $8 million, $20 million a year for 4 years.
no, man, that was 4 years.
we
84,
offered
man.
it. We offered it to him.
Yeah, we offered.
And
to
that dude said no, right? And then all of a
Thank
sudden,
goodness.
thank goodness, right? all of a sudden,
I'm going to bet on me.
right. Well, if you guys remember back in 2009, Trevor Ariza told him he was worth $10, $11 million. And then they said, okay, hey, Meta, do you want to take this $5 million? And Meta took the $5 million. And then
Walked away with a ring.
Ariza promptly went and signed for $5 million with Houston.
The same money.
So,
And what made it even worse was like Houston was like, man, we're in the need for a small forward. I don't know why, but we need a small forward. Who's available? Oh, the guy was trying to get money from the Lakers. Like it was like so much. It was just a bad.
It was
it was so bad. It was so bad.
I've never seen those are like there's so many parallels to that because their value dropped. Now, to Trevor's point, it only dropped $5 million. Schroeder dropped about 15.
Well, the thing about and what we're
Per
saying
year.
and
Per
yes,
year.
right? And what we're thinking about is the fact that at least Ariza had a team to go to. My man still ain't got signed. Like,
he getting
we a whole
look.
week in free agency.
Hey.
My man still ain't got signed,
Quiet as kept. I think he getting spree-wheeled right now.
bro. I mean,
He ain't gonna be able to feed his family.
damn. I mean, I mean, what Pelinka do, man? What Pelinka do? Like, did he muddy the water for everybody? Like, no, don't take this guy.
Hey, quiet as kept though. You know what it is though? I'm gonna tell you what it is. He ain't got Rich Paul on his team.
I was going to say, if you got clutch,
If he
this
got
isn't happening.
if he got Rich Paul,
Whoever.
This isn't happening. I'd like to chime in back to Clubhouse, so all our Clubhouse listeners get ready. With the constant turnaround, again, we're talking about maybe the difference between a dynasty team and a super team. Let's just go off of the narrative that a super team is a team that has one or two superstars and everybody else is plug and play every year. If that's the narrative that we're going to go off, which is these last couple years, Clubhouse, I want to know, other than the stars being LeBron and AD, whose jersey are you going to buy? Whose jersey are you going to invest in that you think is worth getting that's on this team this year that isn't AD and or LeBron that's worth investing in that you'll wear years to come? Is there anybody out there that has anything to say?
I see Shay.
All right, let's go.
Can I comment?
Absolutely, please do.
Are you talking about the Lakers in particular?
Lakers in particular. This team, besides
current
AD
rendition.
and LeBron, this constantly revolving cast of characters, which one would you invest a jersey in this year?
Okay, so first of all, I would never be caught dead in a Lakers jersey, but this player I like, so I will make the exception because
No, hold on.
Yeah.
You're making an exception.
All right.
Exception to the rule.
I love it.
I'm making an exception because I've always been a fan of this player, Russell Westbrook.
Okay. So
Cool. So let me ask you this because Russell Westbrook.
So otherwise, I would never be caught dead in a LeBron jersey. I would rather do some be in excruciating pain than be in a LeBron jersey.
I understand that.
Hey, can we have your phone number, please? Because we may have a show in mind for you.
I agree with you.
I can send you my phone. I can send you my number.
I'm very curious though. Who's your team? Who's your team, by the way?
Who's your team?
He's said I'm just playing.
Okay.
That is funny. Okay. Anybody else?
Anybody else? Shay, I saw you blinking. Go ahead.
I'm a Chicago Bulls fan.
Okay, deal. So you love your Alonzo.
You know what? Hey, you hang tight. We got to talk about y'all in like a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Shay, go ahead.
I'm a little nervous right now.
Go ahead.
Hey, hello, some money, Mike, Stat Pat.
What's going on?
You guys had an amazing weekend.
Awesome.
I'm really excited about next season. Obviously, I'm gonna get Westbrook. I've been waiting for him for 7 years to be a Laker. So definitely Westbrook.
So you think he's here long enough? Now, I think, does American Express still have that return policy that if the player's not here the following year? Because let me tell you, that's going to pay off. That right there. Right. That's me thinking about getting an American Express card again. Let me tell you, because that right there is
I actually think Westbrook will be here a little longer than when LeBron retired. He would help AD a lot. So.
Right.
Andrea, I saw you blinking your mic.
Let's go, Andrea. What's the jersey we're buying?
I'm definitely buying Russell Westbrook. There's nobody else to buy. Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, like
Dwight Howard.
Like,
the components.
You can
get a Mello.
He had his chance. He had his chance already. I'm not rocking a Dwight Howard.
I'm not either.
Deal. Who's up?
You can get an old.
Here we go. Keep going.
We got hey Rahul and Raheel. Mute your mic. I already gave you your time, but we're gonna talk about y'all team in a minute. Hey, Crispy, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm hearing Russell left and right. I respect it. Don't get me wrong. I'm from New York, man. You already know who jersey I'm getting. I gotta get a Melo jersey, man. I was born in Rochester.
Okay.
He played for Syracuse. It's right there next door. I'm supporting Melo, man. He's gonna have a breakout year this year.
I love that.
Okay, cool. But you want him to come off the bench though, right, Crispy?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
He's so concerned with that.
I'm concerned.
You're like 100% preoccupied.
Man,
does that keep you up at night?
Doesn't matter who starts, man.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell y'all. Be honest with me. I'm nervous because I saw some great coaching in the bubble. I saw horrible coaching last year in the playoffs. So my whole thing is I need to make sure Vogel get this right.
Well, he got his extension, by the way. So
that's what he got.
He's not as lame duck coach. Any more jersey ideas in there? If not, we'll continue.
No, I think we're
going to continue.
Hey, let's go ahead and talk.
Let's talk. So let's move on to
Rahul.
Okay, we're gonna get to Rahul right here really quick. I'll make sure we'll round it right there. So of course, the free agency took place, and free agency every year is really confusing to me because, Adam Silver and the NBA seems to be very specific about, Magic Johnson can't wink an eye on whatever show, this and that. However, amazingly, Raul's team, the Chicago Bulls, can ink a deal with Lonzo Ball, and it's a sign-in trade, which isn't easy to do in 60 seconds.
Record
done. 60 seconds. Now, how is that possible if you can't even we haven't even finished saying hello when we get to the studio here in 60 seconds.
And it's already done deal.
All right. Well, that has resulted in a investigation, which just makes sense. Okay. My first thing is, we all know it happens. How friggin' stupid can you be? Right. What is the rush?
They could have waited like 30 minutes.
What is the rush? You the player, you've already agreed. Why do you have to throw it in the face of the NBA and almost challenge other teams? Yeah, say something.
Yeah,
I dare you.
Why would you announce that?
Yeah, right. I just don't get it. Raul, I'd love to go back to him if he's there. If he has blinked the mic. Okay.
So what's going on, man? Y'all think y'all about to be on probation? Like y'all in college?
I'm about to be on timeout.
First of all, my Chicago Bulls are going to whoop some major ass in the East.
I hope so.
Okay.
Because y'all be easier to beat.
We are now balanced out. Lonzo Ball, I think we should have probably gotten someone else if we had the opportunity, but that's fine. I'll take Lonzo Ball as long as his dad stays as far away from Chicago as possible.
Mm-hmm. Never.
That's impossible.
And also, I think that DeMar DeRozan has a connection with, I think, Mark Eversley, and that's one of the reasons why he was incentivized to join the Chicago Bulls.
But why did they cheat?
Right, that's what I got your take on the players currently on the team. when we're talking about the investigation, what do you think is going to happen with that?
I think that the investigation is going to be squashed because, they didn't really do anything wrong. I don't think that they did anything wrong. It was done fairly. It was a sign and trade, and just leave us alone and let us.
Nah,
leave us alone. Okay,
so wait a minute.
Nah.
So
just leave us alone and let us take the NBA East by storm.
Nah,
so
Rahul, did you have that same narrative when the Lakers traded for Chris Paul?
I mean, just saying,
just leave us alone.
Or,
Right.
Matt Johnson.
That's what Rahul gonna tell.
Can we all just be friends?
Yeah, that's cool.
No, well, when Chris Paul first came to the Lakers, at that time, I didn't respect Kobe. I didn't start respecting Kobe until 2009.
Oh,
so
okay.
at that time, I was starting to root. I was rooting against Kobe, but then I started respecting him once he got older and mature and utilized his teammates.
Gotcha. Very good.
Interesting.
Very good. All right. That's perfect.
You know what? I wish we had much longer on the show to address that.
Thank you. We love to get the
Opinions of
all
everybody.
these. Pat's got all his details, his stats. He's like, wait a minute. Let me just write this stuff down here. That's perfect. Well, okay. So the Bulls aren't the only team being investigated. We had others jump the gun as well, and that would be the Miami Heat, and they're also being investigated. Now, their investigation was actually, we know it was spurred by a complaint from another team. Now,
Rats.
Yeah. Now it would make zero sense. Normally, it's the other team where the player's coming from.
Dan Gilbert.
We know he's going to do. But in this case, no one believes it's the Toronto Raptors because they actually benefited from this signage. They actually got better. Miami. So it's another team that was hoping for a shot at Kyle Lowry and didn't get that shot and feels like this was a deal that was already agreed to prior to free agency. Okay, that's like
that snitch hotline.
That's like the Lakers. That's like the Lakers saying that for like LaMarcus Aldridge or something. It's just like he just didn't talk to your team, but you know that the deals are made. You know that if you're an agent, I'd love to talk off record. You know, if you're an agent, the deals are made. They are. If they're not, if you're an agent who's saying, I'm sorry, I can't make that call until then you end up with a client like Schroeder.
which whoever that dude's agent is,
right?
He needs to be fired yesterday.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why they don't get more heat. Like, why isn't Ariza's agent getting more heat? I mean, you see the good, the Rich Paul, and he's getting hype for that Lonzo Ball because
man, listen, Rich Paul is a GOAT. You talked about the biggest GOAT
and he's dating
ever.
Adele, I believe.
Yeah,
just a little.
I mean, it's
culture.
Everything Rich Paul. I mean, listen,
what the hell?
I mean, look, the fact that because I couldn't really figure out why the Pelicans were not messing with Lonzo. I was like, y'all want nothing to do with Lonzo. What? I mean, that's crazy to me. That's weird. Like he's not coming back. And then you find out that they said, hey, he wanted 4 years, $80 million. And they were like, nobody's going to give that to you. And that dude turned around and went to Chicago and got an extra $1 million.
It took him 1 minute. It only took him 1 minute.
It only took him 1 minute.
Because Rich Paul been talking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It took Rich Paul exactly 1 minute to beat that deal.
But look,
ink it.
But that's not even.
It's already signed.
But that's not even the greatness of Rich Paul, though. That's not the greatness of Rich Paul. The greatness of Rich Paul is he got LiAngelo Ball on the team. And he got, not only did he get LiAngelo Ball on the team, he got Charlotte talking about him like he about to be an all-star.
All right.
They talking like he is strong. He got a great shot. We love his confidence. What happened? This dude has been trying to get in the league for like 4 years.
All right,
Detroit didn't think so.
Let's jump on that.
Detroit
Hang on.
didn't say
LiAngelo Ball today in Summer League, okay? Here's his line. He scored 16 points, the second highest score on the team. Up above that was Bouknight, 19 points. He scored 16 points. I believe he had 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Dude, he's balling.
Yeah.
All right, G League. But that's okay. Kyle Kuzma balled. Summer League. That's okay. Kuzma balled in Summer League. I think he may be earning a spot.
It's a whole lot of people that ball in Summer League.
Yeah, but I think he may be earning a spot on this team.
Rich Paul. He had the roster spot.
Yeah, Rich Paul can only do so much.
Hey, Rich Paul
picks good talent, but he is also Ben Simmons.
No. You forgot that Rich Paul. You forgot that Rich Paul gave KCP a no trade clause. Anybody that could give KCP a no trade clause
But you know why though? I mean, look,
I'm just saying.
if you literally gonna use this dude to recruit LeBron, and then don't give him no trade clause, I mean, you wild.
Hey, my regular job is AT&T. I need Rich Paul to be the union steward. That's all I'm saying.
Personally, I was actually kind of happy to see
him to be my
LiAngelo
union
Ball
steward.
go off.
I mean, okay, hold on.
See if he can put a couple games together. But
Hey,
I'm just happy to
blink
see
your
it.
mic if you guys want. If you guys in the clubhouse want Rich Paul to represent y'all on your team. Blink
If
your
you had
mic.
to pick.
It doesn't even matter the industry, bro. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
everybody wants Rich
Andrea,
Paul.
Andrea, everybody blinking their mic. Andrea, what do you think about Rich Paul?
Rich Paul is the GOAT, man.
Mhm.
Everybody gets overpaid. Everybody
Overpaid
gets
for real.
the best. Yeah, they get the best of the best. I think the only person I knew that had a no veto, KCP. What? only that could come from Clutch, man. Ridiculous. He makes the impossible possible.
It's hilarious.
Right.
I love. I
it's
love
so
it.
true.
Jeremy, you got compliments on Rich Paul? Oh, I saw him looking at his mic.
All right, no
I
problem.
mean,
Sorry,
it's
nobody-
really the.
Oh yeah, he one of the best, man. That dude is doing an excellent job of what he does, man.
Man, I'm for
And,
real. Hey, for real. If I had a son in elementary school, I'm calling Rich Paul.
What exactly do we have to do to be one of your clients?
I mean, for real. I'm just
Tell
trying
me.
to figure that out.
Yeah, what's the Rich
I mean,
Paul
yeah.
plan? He needs like to host a camp. I'm telling you. Dude,
I mean,
the
they
kids
let my
would be
man.
there lining up.
They let my man through the door, and he kicking it. I mean, he's the man now. I mean, remember back in the day when David Falk, if that you guys are old enough to remember, David Falk used to be the super agent of the NBA players.
Sure.
He had Jordan, I think, at one time. That was his main client, and then from Jordan, he started getting everybody. Right, David Falk was that guy, and Rich Paul has that now. It feels like if you want to get paid, you now want to go through Rich Paul.
And they're outside basketball now, right? They're
Right, yeah.
NFL and so forth. So.
And it's just like it's something that his negotiating tactic is like, I don't know what it is. Obviously, it's a secret sauce, right? Because everybody's getting paid.
Yeah.
And like Andrea was saying, people some more often than not are getting overpaid. But fact and remain is these guys are getting the money, and he's actually making these guys getting paid. So it's actually kind of hard.
All right, now speaking about getting paid and maybe getting overpaid, I'd like to speak about one player in particular that got really paid this year. And while it's not a historic number, it is a historic number. Our boy Duncan Robinson over there in the Miami Heat, he scored $90 million. Okay, that is the largest NBA contract ever handed out to a non-drafted player. He was non-drafted. All right. You have to give credit for that. Now, I don't know that he's worth that money, but you got to give credit to that for being a non-drafted player. That is the largest contract ever handed out.
Okay, so but here's my question. Don't forget Trey. He got 207.
Yeah.
He's not an all-star.
Yeah, but
So-
it's a great deal. But I would pay it too if I was at
Yeah.
Atlanta.
But which is better, getting 207 million and not being an all-star, or 90 million and not being drafted?
207.
No. Come on.
I'm just asking.
No, it's going to be the Duncan Robinson. The only reason why I'm saying that is this: we acting like Trae Young ain't going to be an all-star next year. We acting like when we say that because it's like that's what we're saying. Like he wasn't an all-star. This dude about to be an all-star for the next 7 years for sure. With a $207 million contract, he's definitely going to be an all-star. Now we're talking about Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson probably won't be an all-star, and he's always going to be undrafted. So that's why I'm
You
saying
can't change that.
Can't change that. But what you call it can change his thing.
Yeah, but it's still it's a great thing. It's a great sign. Also on draft night, Team Ignite went ahead.
They changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
There were multiple top 10 draft picks came from
I
that
think
team.
they had 3 top 10 picks.
Yep.
And you know what? You see what the NCAA did. They're like, okay, yeah, y'all want to get paid? Yeah, you use your jerseys out. Yeah, they're allowing money to come in because now there is another path to get to the NBA outside of the NCAA. And I think that's what's the most amazing thing about what happened, because if you know you ain't going to college, I mean you
that's just not
if
for you, and it's just not for everyone.
Right.
Education does not equal intelligence. That's the biggest mistake out there. Education does not equal intelligence. Some of the most intelligent people I know did not go to college or did not graduate college. That has nothing
There's
to
a
do.
whole lot of billionaires.
There's a whole lot of billionaires. Yeah.
I mean, when I thought the NBA and the NCAA kind of like messed up when they brought in the one and done rule. Like I would say it's for me and for both sports. This is just my personal opinion. Obviously, you could be wrong, but I always like the fact that either you allow these kids to go straight out of high school, or if they do commit to a college, they got to stay 2 years. So we're now building up the commitment for the NCAA. You're going to have a better product because now you're able to grow with these kids. You see the freshman turn into a sophomore, and then boom, you have another freshman come and team with that sophomore. You starting having back the old school feel that we had with those Carolina teams, back when we had the Georgetown teams, back when we had those, and then
as opposed to the rotating players.
Right, and if you want to go straight to the pros, let them go straight to the pros. I'm sorry, you drafted Jonathan Bender. You know, I'm sorry that didn't work out for you. You know what I'm saying? That's not my fault. You need to know your product. If you're going to put all your eggs in that basket, then you can't say that also we need to change the rules because these guys are not ready for the NBA. That's your scouting department.
I mean, here's the thing about it, though. LeBron was a rookie of the year, and that was the same year that they did the one and done. So that proves right there that it's ridiculous. And I agree with you, Stat Pat, where it's a better product for the NCAA if all the best players go straight to the NBA. Now it's way more competitive across the line for the players who are not capable of going straight to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now, if somebody gets some bad advice, that's their bad.
That's it.
I mean, you know, it is.
Buyer beware, man. Like, you know, I'm not going to go ahead and penalize the players and put them in a situation where now we got to protect the owner's investment. Right. No, you chose that product. You didn't do your due diligence. Well, and now you have to pay
But their argument was like, what about the players? We know about LeBron and Kobe.
Yeah.
You know, what about the players that don't make it? Well, that's their fault. Like if I think I'm good enough, who was a cat from Inglewood? He thought he was better than Amari Stoudemire, and he wasn't. He didn't get drafted. I forgot his name. I can't think of his name. Anyway,
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, though, there's these. They need to be really realistic to see, hey, you can get drafted probably in the first round because that's where you get your guaranteed money. If they tell you second round, then hey, go to college, go to the Ignite, go overseas, go do something like that.
Or if you're not getting a lottery grade,
right?
Like if you like, that's like just go to college. But the thing is, the commitment is something that the kids probably wouldn't want to do because if they feel they're going to cash in and capitalize on their new style, you know, their fame after their first year, they feel that then, you know, they're being restricted and it's not like, you know,
free. But now they can actually make some money in college.
Well, now they could.
So it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
So now
now it's it's going to be a weird game. Yeah. You don't even know. I mean,
some adjusting there.
Yeah.
This is great, guys. Now, as always, if you watch the show. Okay, we're getting towards that point. It's almost towards the end, guys. These hours go so quick. I think every week they go faster and faster. Okay, guys. So at the end of the show, if you watch Profanity Nation, we always finish with a quick little segment that we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike has some thoughts or an opinion. He's going to go ahead and share it with the class, and he'd like to know how the students feel about his opinion, whether he is in bounds or out of bounds. Clubhouse, be ready. We're definitely going to you guys on this. Go ahead, Money.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I think I may be 50-50, but like, I'm going to try it out. So, look, hey, first of all, big shout out to the Olympics. You know, the USA team, men and women, both got the gold. But something interesting happened. They said KD is like one of the best USA basketball players ever played a game simply because of his numbers. He's been in 3 Olympics. I think he leads in scoring and second in rebounds, and they're touting him as one of the best USA basketball players ever to play. Now, I 100% disagree with that. I could go down a list. I mean, we had Jordan. I know Jordan didn't get 3 gold, but he got 1. But I prefer having Jordan on. You know, I prefer having Kobe. I prefer having Magic. You know, gold medal. Am I out of bounds for saying that KD is nowhere close, probably on the bottom of the top 10 list of being one of the best players ever be on the USA basketball team?
We're going to go ahead and go to Clubhouse. You guys go ahead and get ready. I rarely get to answer this. Blink your mics if you want to go. I rarely get to answer you, so I'm going to go ahead and take my shot at this one. As far as him being best, I think that you can look at it 2 different ways. Back in the day, you can look at it like, yeah, we were just so dominant, and it was NBA ball that everybody was trying to play, even in international, even though it was slightly different. Nowadays, it's international ball that we're trying to adjust to, and I think you may have an argument if you're trying to say KD is the best player for that being maybe better than Kobe, better than Magic, better than Jordan, to adjust his play to international game. That's my take on it. But let's go to Clubhouse.
But that's not USA though. Am I inbounds, outbounds?
You're inbounds.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Rahul, I saw you blinking your mic.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you hear my out of bounds?
Yes. So wait, out of bounds means you disagree, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you're out of bounds, and the reason I say that is because Jordan, Kobe, Magic, even Jason Kidd, when all of them played, they did not even lose one game. With Kevin Garnett playing, they lost I think it's the first game against France, and they lost 2 practice games.
So then you're inbounds, actually.
So you agree with me?
You agree? That means he's inbounds.
Got you.
No, wait.
I'm saying that KD is not the best USA player of all time.
Oh yeah. Yes, I agree. Yes,
All
sorry
right.
about
Great,
that.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, hey, this is important to me, man. So we gotta make sure we understand the
Be on the
rules.
same level. Go ahead, Scott.
Mess up his record.
My bad.
You know
Sorry
what I'm
about that.
You're all good. Rahul.
Hey,
You're all
hey,
good.
Dr. Randy. Oh, Dr. Randy. Am I inbounds? Okay.
All right, go ahead, Stat Pat. What do you feel?
So when you're saying that he's not like the bottom half of like the top 10, kind of hard to agree with that because we're now looking at 3 gold medals, right? So we're looking at from 92 on to now. We got to look at, because they're not saying the best player who ever played for that. We're saying the best player of international or United States basketball. And so now if I see that Jordan has 2 gold medals and KD has 3, and KD is the top scorer of international USA basketball, I'm just looking at these accolades because we're not saying that he's the better player. We're just saying when they're playing for Team USA, he's actually has more accolades than the people that we're trying to put him up against, the Jordans, the Kobes, the kids, the Kevin Garnett, all those people that had gold medals. He has more of those, and he actually has more points. So it's kind of hard to argue against that. Now, if we're saying that he's the best in the league, which I also heard that narrative because he won a gold medal, now he's the best in the world. Now, that's another conversation. We can talk about that. But when we're talking about USA basketball, just from 92 on to the present, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue against KD.
From out of bounds?
I think so.
All right.
All right, Clubhouse. I need somebody.
One last Clubhouse opinion. Who do we got?
Who do we got? Andrea.
Here we go, Andrea.
Andrea, my girl, she gonna get me.
Nah, you inbounds, man. I won't ever agree that he's the. I think that he's a great scorer, but I expected him to perform the way that he did, surrounded by the B+ and B- athletes that were next to him this year. Like at this point, like we can't diminish, the Jordans, the Kobes. Like, can you imagine being on the floor with LeBron, Kobe, AD, and LeBron? Just everybody on the floor. Of course, KD's gonna score more. Look who he was next to. I think you're inbounds. Nothing changed as to lift him up or lower him down in this Olympics or others. To me, he's the same KD.
So the him getting the gold medal does nothing for his legacy. It just keeps it.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Look.
Okay, so if we're using that, and it's fine. I mean, I understand the argument, but we can't use those same accolades for other players to boost them up. So if we're saying
Correct.
that Jordan had these many, gold medals, or Kobe had these many gold medals, he did this and that. Well, then we need to, because Kobe did play with those same players. Kobe was on the court with LeBron, with KD, with all these other players, and Kobe was able to shine in that 2008 in Beijing because he had those players around. They were stupid enough to leave Kobe wide open and keep leaving Kobe single covered. So, you know what I'm saying? I see the argument, but what I'm saying that we're talking about just accolades and we're looking at it just for a point. This is the standpoint I think they're making. They're not saying that he's the best player because obviously I think Kobe is the better player of all of them. But I just think that it's kind of hard to argue against that because if we're going to take away accolades from one, we cannot give it to the other one and boost that other, legacy up.
Hey, Pat, we run out of time. You already out of bounds.
Okay.
Andrea, you get the final word because this is my segment.
I just honestly feel I don't take into account any gold medals to boost or lower any player when you're surrounded by all these superstars. When I make the argument that Kobe's the best player of all time, to me, it always is. I always exclude the Olympics. So I agree with you. I'm still sticking with the same stand. KD's not the best player in the world, and he's not the best Olympian either. If we want to talk about that, look at Luka's run until he lost, man. That man is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All Luka needs is actually just one other player. He probably wouldn't have won the goal. On the real, if we being really being real.
He don't have the same Rolodex as LeBron.
Man.
That's why. he needs to get LeBron.
That country
Rolodex.
doesn't have the same Rolodex.
Naturalize some brothers to Slovenia.
All right, guys. Well, as usual, we left about a whole page of subject matter that we didn't get to because we always have such interesting conversations, but we will discuss it next week. So thank you, everybody who listened, who takes part. If you do want to take part, if you're listening to this podcast recorded on Spotify or iHeartRadio or wherever you're listening to it, if you want to take part, it's really easy. All you have to do is join us on Sunday evening starting at 8:30 p.m. Go ahead and hop on the Clubhouse app, which is now on Android and iPhones, so it's super easy. And join the Los Angeles Lakers fan club room. Over 9,000 members, on our way to 900,000. But 9,000 members there, you can't go wrong when there's that many people heading to one spot to voice their opinions. And that's where you can take part. That's where you're hearing everybody take part in the show. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Once again, we'd like to thank Hollywood and Highland for allowing us to host a show live there yesterday. That was amazing. Lindsay, thank you. Very special shout out. And Michael from Courtside Radio and the Good News Network. You were great. You did a lot of work to set that up as well. So thank you, Keith, with all the video and audio tracks there. You guys really made the difference and we appreciate it. So thank you so much. We will be back next week and we appreciate everybody, all our listeners, all our followers. Be sure to follow us for your beat. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Reading the teleprompter.
All right.
Follow you.
Yeah. You're really lucky that you stayed to the very end of the show here because we're actually going to ask you, if you're not already following us, then this is definitely going to make you want to follow us. It is Money Mike's birthday coming up here. And he says that if you're tomorrow, and if you haven't already been following him or us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, then definitely do it for his birthday. So let's wish Money Mike a happy birthday, and let's go ahead and your daughter. So I definitely want to reach that out. Okay. So thank you. And I mean, I think I'm going to check the books. We're at least going to get one new follower from this. I know that.
Yeah. For my birthday, can y'all just follow me? That's what I'm asking.
It's going to work.
Not for Mike, just for his kid.
Yeah. Just for the kid.
Yeah, look.
Hey, he's got to feed his family too.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. My daughter was born on my birthday. I get no acknowledgement. She was trying to have my birthday be on Father's Day. So can somebody for my birthday acknowledge me by following the Profane Nation? That's all I'm asking, because tomorrow is not my birthday, according to my daughter.
Thank you for joining us. We will be back here next Sunday, as always, with the great news and the great takes. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
The Profanity Nation is now the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Be sure to join. Over 5,000 strong and growing. Also, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Again, text Lakers to 22828 for a chance to win a free t-shirt.
Profanity Nation.
A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.